5 waiver wire targets. We've got actually a player in every single position except kicking. Kickers are for losers. Defense, you don't need to worry about that either. But every offensive position, we have a target for you for week 5 in fantasy football. Doing football, welcome back, boys. A fantastic week 4 that ended with a fantastic game. I got some great memeable stuff from Steve Belichick all throughout the game. That was all time.
When he did the thing with his tongue?
Yeah.
That was weird.
And there were a couple times when it just like kind of flashed, and I was like, nice, like a little laugh here. I love Steve. If you looked at Steve Belichick and he wasn't in like a full football uniform, you would think he sits on a tractor and bales hay.
Works at a gas station.
Yeah, works at a gas station, that kind of thing. Holy, that guy's a mutant. Okay, let's get started. I think we have a lot. I think this is a good week for waivers for people. I think you can find some really good assets for your team for the rest of the year this week. So I think we've got more than just 6, our usual 6. I know I have a few I want to throw at people. So let's get going. Jared, why don't you start?
All right, I'll start us off with Dalton Schultz, currently rostered in 33% of leagues. Now, usually with tight ends, you get a lot of guys who are like touchdown dependent. If they don't get it, they're just a bust. Yep. I don't think that's going to be the case with Dalton Schultz this year. In the past 2 weeks.
This year or right now? Because what if Michael Gallup comes back and we see, because Blake Jarwin's still involved a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I guess at least until Michael Gallup comes back. Then after that, it might get a little dicey. But in the past 2 weeks, 28% target share and 36.4% target share.
Nice.
7.5 targets per game, 3 total touchdowns. He has been one of Dak Prescott's favorite targets. CeeDee Lamb's not even really getting much done. It's all with the tight ends. And he's one of those guys that you don't need to rely on a touchdown, I think. I think you can provide decent value with Dalton Schultz just with the yardage.
Yep.
So that's enough for me to definitely want to pick him up off the waiver wire if he's available, especially if you got somebody like Logan Thomas, just went down. Don't know how long he's going to be out for. So you might be needing a tight end. Dalton Schultz is the guy to pick up.
Yeah, if you have like Mike Gesicki too.
Yeah.
Like even though he's been serviceable.
You never know.
He got a touchdown last game though.
Yeah.
No, he's been good, but again, he's someone that
one of those type
like
of tight
depending
ends.
on quarterback play and whatnot with Will Fuller back, you don't really know. But it is good to see, like you said, this is a player at the moment that even with the touchdowns, you're like, well, the targets are there. 7+ targets is great at the tight end position. Like if you look at someone like Dawson Knox, that's someone you're like, okay,
Dawson Knox is a big fraud.
Touchdown.
Do not pick him up.
So yeah, I like Dalton Schultz. It's good for people who went with a guy like Jonnu Smith, or I was someone who thought Adam Troutman would be someone to look at this year. If you went that route, then he's a great pivot that maybe you've already got picked up, and some people do, but someone that could be available for you.
He's tight end 3 right now in PPR.
Yeah, it's impressive. He's been good. The first one I'll start with is Damien Williams, a really obvious one here. It looks like Dave Montgomery's going to avoid a season-ending injury, at least so far what we've heard this morning. He is having another MRI just to confirm on things. It did look pretty bad when he went down and left the game. But Damien Williams looked good when he came in for him. The Bears have used their top option in Montgomery a really heavy amount. He's been really involved all over the field. Damien Williams can kind of do all of that as well as a pass catcher and as a back. So I like Damien Williams as a pickup, only 8% rostered at the moment. Honestly, in terms of FAAB and priority, if you need someone to play immediately at the running back position, I think Damien Williams is going to be the starter for the next few weeks. So I'm willing to spend, if it's 20-something% of my FAAB on Damien Williams this week.
Yeah, I like that. And if you look at his schedules next 2 weeks, he's got the Raiders and the Packers.
Nice.
So that's 2 nice games for him. Obviously, in week 7, it's a rough matchup against the Bucs. But for at least 2 weeks, he's a guy I'd be willing to start. And that's enough to definitely pick him off the waiver wire.
Yeah,
Playoff Damien.
Yeah.
He ran pretty well in what I saw from him yesterday.
He did.
So I think he's a good add here. This is a guy I'm going to die on this hill all season. My first guy, Rashod Bateman, 25% rostered. Look, he's a first-round wide receiver. He's better than Kadarius Toney. He's not better than Jamar Chase, but big-bodied possession receiver. It's what the Baltimore Ravens are missing. Hollywood Brown can open up the defense, and Rashod Bateman can be the low guy. He can make all these other catches. Sammy Watkins and Hollywood Brown's snap share target share was in top 10%, both of them in the league. And I think that's promising for Rashod Bateman. Rashod Bateman is a better wide receiver than Sammy Watkins at this point. And you put him in that offense, Lamar Jackson's going to get him the ball. The running game is going to help him get more open as well. I think it's an easy guy that you need to pick up. Sure, week 1 might not be the best for him when he plays his first game, but after that, I think this is could be a league-winning pickup. That's how good I think he'll be the rest of the season.
Yeah, I like it. I know Tmack's not as big of a fan of the pick, but Rashod Bateman, he just like Odell Beckham. I'm not going to compare him to Odell Beckham, but Odell Beckham missed the first 4 weeks of the season, so it's not a big shock to say that he could do the same thing. I'm talking to Odell as a rookie, by the way. So it's not a shock that he could come out and just ball out immediately. And I could easily see him take over that Sammy Watkins role entirely sooner rather than later once he gets back.
Yeah, he's not Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown also first-round receiver too, but they just play different type of receivers. So
yeah. He's someone that could get lost in the shuffle this week for sure and be available on your wires. I think it's a low priority. I'm just worried about Lamar Jackson malice defeat of this offense in the passing game. He's never done it before. I don't know why we would expect it now, but that's just my 2 cents on it.
That's fair.
Do you want to get going with the second?
My second one, I'm going with the quarterback, Trey Lance, 31% rostered. He's probably not rostered in any of your one quarterback leagues. We did say all offseason, make sure you pair a safe floor quarterback.
If you watch the show, he's on your bench.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? If you watch the show.
If you watch the show, because we said pair a safe floor quarterback, maybe like Ryan Tannehill with one of these high upside guys like Trey Lance.
And at this point, you want to play Trey Lance over Ryan Tannehill right now.
I think he's a start, almost a must start in one quarterback leagues, unless you've got one of those like top 6 guys.
Yeah, he struggled to move the ball yesterday, and he still had 20 fantasy points.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter because he's got that rushing floor. He had 7 carries for 41 yards in one half.
Yeah.
So with that rushing floor, he's just a must start. You have to do it. And
we took Trey. We said Trey Lance because we thought that Jimmy wasn't going to be able to move the ball well enough with this offense, and Trey Lance was just better. But we also knew that eventually he was going to get hurt. He always does.
Yeah, he gets hurt every
and he did not look great in that first half either.
And Jimmy Garoppolo already came out and said himself that he hopes his injury is just a few weeks. So we know for sure that Lance will play this coming week and probably the next week as well. And if he plays well, then he wins the job, then it could be a league winner down the stretch.
I can't wait to see what Kyle Shanahan does with some time with him, with a full week to prepare what the offense looks like. It's
going to be exciting.
I have 2 here. Both guys I've already talked about, but I do want to stress the importance of looking at these guys in your waiver. I'm going to start with AJ Green. I mean, the targets are just there. He's on the field the second most of this team. It's not Christian Kirk. It's not Rondale Moore. It's not Max Williams. AJ Green's just out there. He's getting the ball. He was in the end zone this week. It's not just about the fantasy performance. It's more about the fact that he's just always on the field. And this offense is electric.
Yeah.
They were so fucking good yesterday. That team is a ton of fun to watch. Loved having them plus 3.5. That was a good.
Have they put up 30+ points in every week this season? I think they have.
I believe so. Yeah.
Well, probably the only team to do that. I can't think of
the other games off the top of my head right now.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he's out there all the time, like you said, he's had 6 targets in every game.
Yeah, exactly. So the game that they almost lost to
the
Vikings, they had 34 points. So yeah, they probably have. Yeah, he's just been out there. Exactly. Second one is Van Jefferson. I honestly am starting to look at Van Jefferson as the same fantasy value of Robert Woods at this point. The difference is Robert Woods might see a little bit more volume, but they're on the field the exact amount, and Van Jefferson's getting these high value targets. These targets that are very exciting, can lead to some boom weeks, some big weeks. Look, Deshaun Jackson is fucking washed. He's not on the field that much. I'm not worried about his impact on Van Jefferson. And Van Jefferson, his roster percentage, I think right now is still at around 5 or 6%. It hasn't moved much since we talked about him last week. So 2 guys that I really want people to keep an eye on that can help out your teams immediately.
Kenneth Gainwell, running back, Philadelphia Eagles, 29% rostered this week against the Chiefs. 3 rushes, 39 yards, 1 touchdown. But the exciting stuff, 8 targets, 6 receptions, 58 yards. I love the way they used him against the Chiefs. He outperformed Miles Sanders this week again. They just made it a priority to get Kenneth Gainwell the ball. He's had some goal line touches as well. They brought him in. This is their guy, like Sirianni's guy, Kenneth Gainwell is. I think it's a guy you need to pick up if he can find his way into the end zone. I don't think he's that touchdown dependent because of all these receptions.
Yeah.
But he's a rookie running back, right? And every week, if he just keeps getting better and better, it's just promising for us, a guy that I think you should want to roster. Jeremy dropped him last week, and it was the quickest thing to do was for me to just pick him up right away. Because he's getting into it. They're game planning for him more to get him more touches. I'm excited what Kenneth Gainwell can do the rest of the season.
Yeah, the usage is promising.
These are like him and Javonte. Javonte's more like the draft capital is more prominent for him to take over, but they've both stock is up on both of them. That you boys saw that run from Javonte, did you?
That was insane.
Oh my, that's exactly the type of guy we saw at UNC. Yeah. Exactly, he looked great.
Also, Kenneth Gainwell wearing number 14 just makes him look faster, though.
Yeah, it's a weird look, though. Before Jared gets to a couple of his extras, be sure to like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below if you got any questions for us. We're always happy to answer. Please do subscribe to the channel. We would really appreciate it. But Jared, any more extras before we wrap up?
Avery and I love rookies, especially the rookie wide receivers. So I'm going to say Elijah Moore again. He's only at 21%.
You asked me if you could bring up Jamison Crowder. What the fuck are you doing here? Are we forgetting that who
rookies.
throws the ball?
Yes.
They had one game against the Titans where they scored 27 points.
Doesn't matter.
And now here we are. We're going to tell people that you should have three wide receivers from the Jets.
Okay.
You should also be stashing Michael Carter because he kind of looks good. And then
Michael Carter
what
touchdown.
are we doing?
Okay, it's a rookie wide receiver. It doesn't matter if they are doing poorly. They can break out at any time.
Yep, facts.
It's not happening.
Yes, it is.
It's not happening this year, man. It's not
Can't
happening.
wait for it to happen.
It's gonna happen.
And then we go back to this clip.
You have one game where he catches a 60-yard touchdown, and you're going to start victory lapping on
Yeah,
him.
it's gonna be awesome.
One game doesn't
You
mean
said it's not
shit
gonna
to
happen
me.
this year.
It doesn't matter if he has one game where he has 60 yards and a touchdown, nobody was playing him.
Sure, but then you play him next week and he does it again.
And no, then he doesn't do it again because it was an aberration.
Okay, but
I'm not going to do this for fucking 12 more weeks of this season with you guys telling me that I should be picking up Elijah Moore.
I think
I'm not.
I think
I would
we'll
pick
get
up
one more
Jamison
time.
Crowder instead of
Yeah.
Elijah Moore.
really,
Yes.
No,
But
go
I'm
with the
not
rookie.
picking up either because they play for the Jets.
if you have space on your bench, I'm not saying it's a priority ad, not even in the slightest, but if you have that extra
you.
spot
Thank you.
on your bench, why not fill it with Elijah Moore?
At least you could say that.
Would you rather Rashod Bateman or Elijah Moore?
Yeah, I'd rather
Bateman.
Rashod Bateman, yes.
Yeah. But a couple deep guys, though. Kadarius Toney, if Slayton and Shepard don't play again, I honestly don't mind. Like, only in
Hate
very
it.
deep
I
leagues.
get-
Very
I get
deep
it, but
leagues.
I hate it.
CJ Uzoma as well. Like, he's
Yeah.
kind of getting involved. He could be getting closer to fully healed off that Achilles injury. And
It's more, to me, like if T. Higgins is back, then forget about it. But
Yeah,
if he's
yeah,
still
I
out, I
agree.
think, Uzama's an interesting one.
Burrow likes to target him.
Max Williams, the Cardinals offense is getting to a point where they're like the Bucks, where you might just need to have all of them.
Yeah, just
It would have been
see who
nice
goes
to have
off.
Dan Arnold back in that offense, to be honest,
Yeah.
as the tight end.
Yeah. Max Williams has looked good. And then one last one, actually, I forgot to mention, is Alex Collins. I think he's a stash
Yeah, nice
handcuff. He was splitting time with Carson because I think Carson's banged up. So if we see Carson miss any time, Alex Collins will be the RB1 there for sure. So I would stash him. I'd put him on your bench if you have the availability to do so. 1% of him, so you're not going to see him anywhere. I picked him up last week in one league, so if you can, if you have the ability, I would do it too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.